Welcome to episode 39 of the Rex Chapman Show with my super dope homeboy from the L-Town, Josh Hopkins. How are you, buddy?
Good, man. How are things in Brooklyn?
Things are good. No complaints. Been traveling a little bit, but I'm back in the city. Enjoying it. What a beautiful day today. Before I forget, I want to say one thing, and I do know that this person died. Rest in peace, Gilbert Gottfried passed away today. And man, what a sad day. 67 years old, which for you and I doesn't sound too old anymore.
No.
Right?
No,
so
it doesn't sound old.
Gosh, that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, he was a funny cat.
Yeah. So we got the playoffs starting, Joshy.
Yeah, when we started this pod and the season started up, I asked you who you thought was the favorite, and you said the Nets. With your head and with your heart and head too, you said the Suns.
Yes.
Now, as we head into the playoffs, the Lakers, which the Lakers aren't in, who would have thunk that? Yeah, no. But now, all this time gone, who do you got? Who does Rex Chapman have winning it?
In the East, you're saying?
Well, in the East. We'll break it up.
Yeah, well, because you don't want to.
Right, I know where
cheat
we're going. In the East, who we got?
Yeah, in the East, I like the Miami Heat. I think the Heat are the best team in the East. Yes, they may have some stuff, but I know they're tough. Tough team. Yeah. Healthy. When healthy, they're really good. The Bucks may prove to be the best team again. I don't like the Sixers. The Nets are scary. They've got a puncher's chance. They have two of the top five, maybe three best scorers on the whole planet Earth on their team. And when you have to game plan, you've got a game plan for just one of those guys, it's sketchy. But trying to do it with two guys in this era where you can't be super physical with either one of them, think about having a great season, ending up the 2 seed, and you play the Nets in the first round. Yeah. That just sucks.
That does suck. So, but you're going to go with the Heat.
I'm going with the Heat.
That's your okay. Okay. Let's do the inevitable West, even though we know where you're going to go here.
Yes. Congratulations to Monty Williams and his staff. Monty winning the Coaches Award for Coach of the Year, second year in a row. The Phoenix Suns, I think, are going to win it if they're healthy. They've just been the best team for the last couple of years. I'm not saying they were the best team last year. They were one of the top teams last year. They've been the best team this year from start to finish. I think they're just better. They're together. But taking them out of it, it's really hard. I still like Golden State if Steph gets back and he's himself. He and Clay will be playing.
Is that your puncher's chance from the West?
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Who do you like out west?
I defer to the man with the basketball mind. I do. Who do you think, as a player, made a jump this year that you said, well, he made a real jump this year? Like he's.
I don't know if this guy made a real jump. Well, the dude in San Antonio, the DeJounte Murray. Terrific. Yeah. The all-star. Yeah. A guy that I don't know if he made a jump. Yeah, I think he did. Yes, he certainly did. That I'm super happy for is our homeboy Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
Tyler,
Yeah.
Tyler, and I'm going to remind people of this, but he had a really good rookie year, which was in the bubble, and or playoffs anyway, and came back the second year and was kind of so coming off the
Yeah.
bench and doing his thing. Dedicated himself over the summer and lit it up this year. I remember going into the season, people were laughing because he was saying because Luca and Trey both got, big extensions. And he said something like, I'm in the same, I don't know why people don't think I'm in the same category as them. And people killed him about it. I get
know, I
it.
remember.
Okay. And you know what? Maybe he's not, but maybe he is. He's
Yeah.
really good. He's
Yeah.
really good. And I was, just because I like him, I was just nervous for him as a fan. I was hoping that,
Right.
I was hoping that what happened and that he would go through some adversity and bounce back from it. So I'm excited for him.
I think it's really interesting just the opposite complete directions that the two players, Zion and Ja. I mean,
Yeah.
Ja just exploded this year. His team really took a jump. He seemed to take a big jump. And then Zion stock is you can get it real cheap right now if you want it. I mean, people are afraid that he's going to eat himself out of the league, that he's too athletic, that everyone's afraid of feet with big men.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
notoriously. What do you think he's ever going to be able to play to his potential, even for a few years?
Yes, I think so. I think he's worth the gamble. He's hurt. He's been hurt, and to the point we talked about with Tyler Hero, he missed a bunch of time his second year and first year. He was my size when he was at Kentucky. He's like 2 inches taller than that now. He was growing, still growing. Zion, he's been big forever, but carrying that much weight is a big deal. And we've seen guys, and I know we say we haven't seen a guy like Zion before. And yes, we really haven't, that whole package, but we've seen guys built like him. I think back to Rodney Rogers, who I played with. Rodney was great big like that. And Rodney struggled at times with his weight, and he was terrific when he was leaner. But Rodney almost always played himself into shape. It took him to like, he'd go home and do nothing in the summer as a country boy. He'd ride around on four-wheelers, driving trucks, and he would gain weight. And he'd come back in the fall, he'd be heavy, and we couldn't really count on Rodney till like December, mid-December, January. And then he was great. But it takes a toll. It just takes a toll on your body. He's and staying lean in New Orleans ain't the easiest thing in the world.
No, that's interesting. I want to get back to something with that, but real quickly, that I always thinks that's just not, LeBron comes in fine-tuned every year. It's the only way he's made it this far. You can tell the dedication. I mean,
but different body types. I
know. I'm not comparing, but I'm saying like Harden comes in notoriously a little chunky at first. I felt like Luka did. Like, those are guys that I feel like if aren't showing 1,000% dedication the way they could be, that could make them legends, because they're already two of the best players in the world. So it'd be interesting to see what a lot of those players, if they had that kind of dedication, what it would do for their game if they did a Tyler Hero summer.
And most great players get around to doing that. They usually figure it out. And we're still at that. I mean, he's 22, 23 tops. Zion. But the thing about Luka and the thing about Zion, Luka can play bigger. He never leaves the floor. Rarely leaves the floor. It's easier on his body to play bigger. Zion is. And, I got hurt a lot because I went out there and 100 times a game, I jumped as high as I could, to shoot a jump shot or to go to the basket or what. That was how my game was. Zion does the same thing. The only way that he can play is to jump up over everybody and shoot it. He doesn't know how to play under the rim. His game is predicated on big bounce and landing. The jumping's not, it's the landing part. And, he's vulnerable. But did you see what he was doing when he was in shape in the NB of A? All-time great. All-time great.
Yeah. I feel like he's at the MB. Well, I like to point out that friends are like that say, yeah, he's done, he's fat. He's not going to. He's at the Embiid crossroads.
Right.
One way or the other. You can go, and it's no one's fault, but the Greg Oden route, where body just will not let him do it. Or he does. They figured it out, gets everything in line. And now with Embiid, he's probably going to be the MVP.
Who do you take right now? Call it. Ben Simmons or Zion Williams?
Oof. God, that's brutal. I'd take Ben Simmons.
Really?
Because I know he's gonna play now, and he scares me mentally. He scares me, and he can't shoot, but at least he's going to be on the court.
Is he?
Well, I know that's well said, but his has been. He seems physically. You don't worry about him not playing physically next year the way you would.
Okay.
Zion.
Okay. Yeah, that argument makes sense.
I'm dying for Zion. I want to see it. The world deserves to see
the reason for that. And I love Ben Simmons too. Maybe the best defender in the league. And if he was able to play, with a free mind with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and Joe Harris and Seth Curry, that's a dangerous, Andre Drummond, that's a dangerous team. Yeah, I really like Ben Simmons. Zion, man, he's just, he's insane. I lost my train of thought, but he's insane. The way he bounces. And that's what it was. He's one of those guys that, watching a lot of basketball like we do, watching it even as a pro player sitting there on the bench, you see some great stuff. But not every night do you see something that goes, whoa. And watching Zion is different. It's a different experience. He does take your breath away, like Ja Morant does. The guys that sit on the bench or play with those guys, that just can wow you with their athleticism like that in a league of athletes is really exciting.
You're a freak amongst freaks, and that's what they are. You are really a freak.
Yeah.
And athletic, it's unbelievable. It's like there's a glitch in the Matrix every game where you're like, video go out. What was that? Every time it's something doesn't look possible. Like they do something like that. That's a person can't do that. So if you do that night in, night out, you are really something. Who's your MVP?
It was Stephen Curry the whole year, but Stephen's gotten hurt. It can still be Steph. I'm going Devin Booker.
Okay. I like it. His team sucked too bad, but I would like to say I cannot believe what individually LeBron accomplished this year.
Oh yeah.
At 37.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like, you start to be 37, 38, and the guys that can still jump like that, but they've got like 2 jumps a game, so he's got it.
It's amazing. You really wouldn't have thought when he came in the league, you wouldn't have thought, all right, well, when he's 20 years from now, he's not going to be as athletic, but he's going to be able to slow his game down and still be a great player. Mm-hmm. And he's done it. He's done it. I mean, he used to just be the fastest guy end to end, and he still can be at times, but those times are fewer and far between. And that he can still get to his spots when, this is a league of handling, and of course he's a great handler in the open court and all that, but he's not like a shake you up guy and but that he's still able to get to his spots, and that he's not just going by people and dunking everything now. It's pretty amazing. I'm with you.
It's really amazing.
Episode 39, Josh. Who's famous 39s we can think of? Who you got? Anybody?
That's tough. 39s. There's not a whole lot of 39s that jump off the page.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, if I'm trying to remember a combination that's 3 and 9, I'll be like, I'll go 39 Larry Zonka. There's one. But I go Rex Chapman, Michael Jordan in the Olympics. That's what I go. That's how I do it. Now, everybody has their own way, but that's my 9, Michael Jordan in the Olympics. So 39s are tough, but Zonka.
39. I had to look this up earlier, but Tommy Tolbert, my former teammate with the Charlotte Hornets, Tom Tolbert wore 39 there for a little bit.
I'll tell you this too, just to let you know, if my combination is 3, 9, 7.
Yeah, what do you do?
Rex, Jordan in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And who's our guest?
Oh, way to go. That rolls us right into our guest, 14-year NBA veteran, all-world dude, and living legend from New York. Went to Georgia Tech. We have Mr. Chibbs, Kenny Anderson. Thanks for coming on, Kenny.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. When you called and said you wanted me to come on the show, I was excited. I said, yes, I have to get on the show. I remember you, when Charlotte Hornets drafted you out of Kentucky, and just, you just had an awesome career. You played the right way, and God has blessed you. God has blessed you.
Yeah, no question. The thing that sticks out to me was that, you played with my homeboy, Sam Bowie, which was, that was your first team. And that was kind of mine and your connection.
Yeah.
That we both knew Sam, knew how silly Sam is.
Yeah.
And that I loved how he put you under his wing that first year in Jersey.
He was a great man. He really helped me a great deal. And he was just trying to rejuvenate his career. And believe me, so he did that year.
Yes, he did.
But, coming in with all the fanfare that he came in with, everybody was like, oh, it wasn't like he was expected to do, but he had a great year. He stayed healthy. He played extremely well.
And Sam could pass that thing. People don't you throw, it was a nightmare running with you and Drazen, you guys on throwing it to him and cutting off of him.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare. And you got 2 or 3 layups a game just playing with Sam like that.
Oh, definitely. That was like when our offensive sets broke down, we gave the ball to him and we would cut off him. And he'd make things happen. He was a great big man. He was so talented. If he wouldn't have got injured, oh my goodness.
Derek was on that team, right?
Coleman. Derek Coleman, Drazen, Petrovic, myself. We had a good team, but it was Air Jordans.
I know.
Era,
I know.
Nobody was beating Chicago.
Kenny, man, you're in Nashville, man, and I grew up in Kentucky, not too far away, and now I'm in Brooklyn, which is which you just grew up right around here, right?
Yeah, man. You in Brooklyn? I'm like 15 minutes away. I'm a big Nets fan. I followed them. I was watching the game a little. I'm about 15, 20 minutes from the Barclays Center. I'm from Left Rack City, Queens. I went to Archbishop Malloy right down the block. It was a lot of talented players coming out of New York City.
Josh and I grew up together. Well, kind of. We're both from Kentucky.
Okay.
Same age. Well, Josh is a little bit younger. But my question, and Josh is a big basketball guy.
Okay.
My question is to Josh. Josh, when was the first time you heard of Kenny Anderson?
Remember that Sports Illustrated where they ranked the players?
Yep.
I think it was like 86.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at it all the time. I can tell you this: Marcus Liberty was the senior, Alonzo Mourning, then my man right here, Kenny Anderson, then Damon Bailey.
Yeah.
We ran from Tennessee.
Damon Bailey.
And the others were so much younger, but I just remember the next guy because his name was just Barnabas Jones. Who's the next dude? So you can tell I looked at that all the time. Kenny, you're my dude because I'm like 1 month older than you.
Wow.
So I was in your grade, and you're like, wow, you've been out in the sun a lot. I was in your grade, so you were the guy that I looked up to, and I knew you before that because you were famous as a freshman 8th grader.
Yeah,
you were on the cover of the New York Times sports section.
Everywhere. I was everywhere.
Yeah, you were already super famous before that, but then any point guard from New York, immediately everybody earns respect, which is one question I want to ask you because there's so many that came out from there, and so many around like just before you was like Mark Jackson, Dwayne Pearl Washington, who else was there? Ken Smith.
Ed Davender.
Yeah, Ed Davender. He was the first
Boys and Girls.
That's my guy. Rest in peace, Eddie D. But he went to Boys and Girls High School, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
he did.
No, he go to Hamilton.
I think it's Boys and Girls.
Boys and Girls. Okay.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. But what was it like? Because there was a lot more press on you, and those guys were a little older. Some of them were older, like Mark Jackson and Pearl Washington, but like Kenny Smith and stuff. You were the guy. Yeah.
It was a different era, and we didn't have all the social media, so the papers was big, the magazines, and I was in everything, man. Since I was 14, 15 years old, I knew I was going to make it to the NBA. It was just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
But my mentor, Vincent Smith, who's Kenny Smith's brother. Kenny Smith went to Malloy also, same high school. But he had told me, hey, you got to do everything the correct way. You got to go to school, get a good education, and then play basketball. So I was just really into doing what I needed to do. And then when I got into the NBA, I started, acting up a little bit.
Yeah.
But high school and college, I did everything I needed to do to make it. I wanted to take care of my mother. That was the biggest thing with me.
Did that influence you on, Kenny left New York and went to North Carolina to a good college. You're leaving and going to the South. Did that have some kind of bearing? And, and also
definitely.
Georgia Tech is no walk in the park, man. It's a hard school.
No walk in the park either. But definitely everybody thought I was going to UNC because of Kenny Smith went to UNC. But I just didn't want to play that style of basketball. I want to have more creativity and just go. And Coach Cremins, coming from the Bronx, he recruited me wisely. You know what I mean? And then my mother loved him because he was from the Bronx, from New York. So everything clicked. She was like, she was like, you're going to Georgia Tech. So I went to Georgia Tech.
The Rex Chapman Show is sponsored by TicketSmarter. TicketSmarter helps customers from all walks of life experience the power and excitement of live events by giving back through children's charities and creating helpful partnerships. $1 from every transaction will help our charitable partners, including St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, the V Foundation, Quarterback and Children's Health Foundation, and Coach to Cure MD. TicketSmarter is the official ticket resale partner of PBR, NJCAA, and over 35 collegiate conferences with 250 plus universities, including the Pac-12. While I'm here in Brooklyn, I could catch a Nets game or any of the concerts coming to the Barclays Center. Buying with TicketSmarter is quick, easy, and 100% guaranteed tickets. Find tickets to more than 125,000 concerts, sports, and theater events. Order now.
Rex was like my idol growing up. He was just a few years older, but he was the man.
Yeah.
And so he had, we talk about it on here a lot and to each other, an unbelievable burden because he could have run and been governor. He was the most famous person in the state. Everywhere he went, everyone knew who he was. He's just, 15, 16, 17-year-old kid. And I was blown away, how he handled it. But you were that, and you were in New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. What was that like?
Yeah, it was crazy, but I went to a very good school academically, high school, and like I said, my mentor, like they put fear in me. They put fear in me. They watched me. They watched me like a hawk. I just wasn't doing everything that everybody was doing at a young age. I was focused. In high school, let's be real. I have one. I went to all boys school first of all. Malloy was all boys. I had one girlfriend through my high school career. I wasn't really concentrating on that. I was concentrating on making it, going to a D1 school, going to a big school, getting a tip so I could go on to the pros so I could take care of my mother. That was my focus.
Man,
and,
that is so amazing.
Yeah.
That's so amazing because I remember you just said, at 13, 14, you knew you were going to make it. It was just a matter of time. See, I didn't think that way. Like at 13, 14, even in college, or even just before college, I was like, man, I just hope I can get a scholarship so my parents don't have to pay for it. You, man, from that young age, you were that much better than everybody you were playing with.
Yeah. And I used to go to the gym and work out and sit on the ball and watch guys.
Right.
Watch guys older than me, better than me, bigger than me, and watch how they played at the North Battalion Hall Recreation Center on Queens Boulevard. I lived in there. It was from 3:30 in the afternoon on till they used to keep it open for me till midnight. It closed it at 11. But I used to sit on my ball and I just watched them play. And then afterwards, I would get on the court, work out, and I wanted to make it so much that I had a hunger in me. But it wasn't so. It was basketball, but it was also the other things in New York I could have really got attached to, and that's what with my family. I didn't come from a good family. Everybody was trying to make it the best way they knew how, and I had to just be careful about who I associated with and who I got out with.
Luckily, you had those mentors, but another long line of point guards are still to come. Did you ever talk to Steph and Sebastian and tell them things to do, or was that just since they were Coney Island, it was different?
When I saw those young men, I would listen, I would talk to them, but some people is brought up differently, and they handle you differently. I listen to everyone. I listen to everyone. Some people don't.
Yeah.
That's just the way. I was one of those young kids. It wasn't so much. I was very humble. I was a very humble young man. I had talent, and I did the necessary things to make it. But I was very humble. I listened to everybody, and I would take everybody information and work it out. Me and Vincent Smith, that's my guy. Vincent Smith, without him, I probably wouldn't have made it.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
I probably wouldn't have made it.
Kenny, I know that a lot of us, we played it in an era as guards, as smaller guards, where you could hold guys and grab guys.
Yeah.
And I know I think about it from time to time, like, oh man, it would be nice to play now, but for you, you're one of the guys, obviously I think about Mahmoud, but you two, especially, you guys were like, until then, the only guys that really had handles, handles were like Isaiah, Mark Price, he had some handles, but it wasn't a pick and roll game. You guys didn't run a ton of pick and roll in college, not with 3D out there, not like they do now.
It's a lot it's a lot of pick and roll game, and the lane is wider, and it's a 3-point. It's a 3-point game. I couldn't shoot the 3-pointers. Back then,
you could have.
If everybody was, there was a lot of, it was post, with Derek Coleman, Sam Bowie, all the big guys I played with. It was always in a post. You throw it in, and then you spot out. You get a 3. But now the guards are really just if you got, handle and things of that nature, just pulling up, the lane is wide open. It's a lot softer game. Let's call a spade a spade. It's a lot softer, and it's fan friendly. Until now the playoffs it gets a little more physical.
With your school there and college game, I watch the college game a lot now, and it's almost like you can be more physical on the ball in college than you can in the NBA.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right.
I'm at a small school, NAIA school, Fisk University. We're like about 6 to 750 kids. That's academically, that is what they really promote here. But they brought me in for the basketball, and I'm trying to, change the culture. And it's just a great fit for me to be involved in where I come from and how I came up in the game. It's kind of like it's a mirror image. Like, this is where I belong.
That's crazy.
That's great.
I love it.
It's a great. It looks great on you, man. It's good to see you smiling. No, life is hard, and we've all gone through stuff. You've been through your stuff, man. And what was it like growing up? As the man of the house. With your mom and 2 sisters.
Oh, I saw some crazy things. It's on my documentary, Mr. Chibbs. On there.
Chibbs.
I could talk about things now. When I was 10 and 11, I got molested. It was very difficult for me, in living in that bowl in New York City.
How long was it before you ever told anybody that?
Yeah, see,
I'm asking. Do you know?
Told anybody? I probably wouldn't have told. My mother was still living. I probably wouldn't have said anything. My documentary would have went another way.
Yeah.
But I went through the NBA career, living with that.
Wow.
Living with it. And that's where I was just up and down. My career was up and down, and the main thing, and that's what I keep saying, I just wanted a better life for my mother. I just focused. And once I got it, I was very comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And in time, playing in the NBA, I knew what I had to do. I would do it, but it was just a roller coaster. I wouldn't do it constantly, because I played basketball on a high level since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
And then I made it to the NBA. It was just different for me, It was just a lot different.
By the time you were 25, man, you'd already been super famous for 10 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it was hard to deal with. But
before the internet, when you had to be famous for something.
Yeah.
You were.
People don't know that. They know it. Our age factor, our generation.
Right.
But these young kids don't know, and it's good. I just, but the social, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
We didn't have that.
I'm good and bad though, right? I mean, there's that make it.
Yeah, good and bad.
Yeah.
Kenny, what was your favorite stop in the league?
The 3 teams I always give a lot of credit to: New Jersey Nets, Boston Celtics, Portland Trailblazers. So those are the 3 teams that I put in, about 10 years, and then I played, with
y'all
these
were
other teams.
Y'all were dirty in Portland. Y'all were nice in Portland.
We I got there with under PJ Collision was my coach, and then they got rid of me.
Yeah, but y'all were just. I know you was about to turn the corner. I know.
Man, I was so
I know
that trade was so. I was so pissed off, man. But we was about to get it, man. We had a good.
I know.
We had a good crew.
The NBA playoffs mean next level basketball. Get ready for all the action by betting the play-in tournament with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can bet $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets instantly. You clinch a win no matter what. All DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also bet on NBA hoops with same-game parlay. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Plus, for each day of the play-in, get a risk-free bet up to $10 if your same-game parlay doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code Rex Chapman bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game during the play-in tournament and get $150 in free bets instantly. That's promo code Rex Chapman at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Rex and I talk about this sometimes. And did you have a welcome to the NBA moment where you were like, oh, this is the highest level, and like a time when you came out and you're like, this is different?
I think one game, I didn't even have my uniform under my warm-up.
I remember something about that.
I did not play. 91. It was a kind of, my 91 was my worst year because I played my high school for 4 years, my college, and my rookie year, I did not play. Wow, so I was kind of frustrated with me in the beginning. And then I started, my people started telling me, hey, the coach, he'll get fired. Don't even worry.
You'll be here longer than he will.
Yes. That's what, I wasn't thinking I had a 5-year deal. I had a 5-year deal on my first year. So I said, hey, and I started going with the program, coming to practice. And this Mookie Blaine got injured. So I played like 13 games. It worked. Yep. And they won 13 games and boom, that's what started me. I was like, wow. Yep.
And it's crazy. And Mookie's had he's had his situation and his issues. I love me some Mookie Blaylock, but people don't know. I mean, y'all had 2 all-star guards before you were all-stars.
Yep,
Mookie was no joke.
No, he was no joke. Defensively, he'd get your pocket. And I practiced with him. So I got it. He got me better. You know what I mean? He got me better. And, the whole, and then like I said, mid-season, I started to get it. I just said, hey, I'm just going to work hard and just get ready for next year. And we played Cleveland the first round, 2 years in a row, in the playoff.
That's right. That's funny that you said it because I went through some similar stuff with Charlotte. It was the first time I wasn't like, it was the first time I wasn't the best player on my team. Yeah. Like from the very moment I walked in. And, I saw all the things I couldn't do. Still, it was hard, like sitting on the bench at the beginning of the year. Like, what is this coming off the bench? What? Is this tough. A real thing that people do?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you've been spoiled.
But
spoiled.
It's good.
It's good
because it's hard. It's so hard at the time. And I'm sure like you were like myself in this regard that, we lived young. I mean, we're not married, lived for the box score and for the winning and losing. Yeah. And when you place all your value as a person on that, going through it is hard, but it's necessary, right?
It's necessary. The growth. And I've grown up, 51 now, all my dips, my valleys, my peaks and valleys.
Yeah,
it's great. I wouldn't change it for the world. I had to go through what I went through.
You had a health scare though recently. A couple years ago, had a stroke. Yeah. How you feeling? And what went on? And what are you doing right now to stay on top of it?
So Vanderbilt Hospital, I go there. They do a great checkup for me. I had a stroke. My dog, Caleb. I love dogs now. That's my guy. Mm-hmm. I fell out. I went to visit my family in Florida, and I woke up. I fell off the bed, and boom, went blind in one eye. And my dog rushed to my daughter's room, got her attention. She came, boom. She called the ambulance. They gave me a shot. I was in the hospital for like a month and a half, so I was very scared. And that's another thing. It just woke me up. I was very scared. About losing my life. And, so I look at things a lot different now, a lot different, and I'm just out here to help people. That's my main cause, because God helped me, with this other opportunity that I have in the sense of just doing the right things in life. That's what I try to do.
I'm so happy for you, man.
Thank you.
I know it was scary.
And now I'm just trying to give it off, and teach these young men that I'm coaching about life.
You're doing it. What's your goals, Kenny? What's your goal going forward?
See, my goal is just to make, Fisk be a just appropriate basketball team, and just give off my life lessons, teach these guys the right way, not just basketball, but academically and about life. And if I can do that, if I can change their, decision about, how they're living and things of that nature, I did my job. And leave this school a better place athletically than it was before they got me. And that's a blessing. That's all I see. That's what I want to do. I want to put my name on this. And, and I've been here for 3 years, as far as coaching for 3 years. But the school, I've been here 4. But with the COVID, they canceled the season last year.
That's right.
So it's a great, it's a great school. Great school, no problem. Academic. But basketball, athletically, I'm trying to change the culture.
Trying to catch up a little bit.
Yep.
Man, you're doing, your story is so inspirational, kid. Yeah. I mean, I've known you forever, but no, it really is like, you got to know that the kids, the young men that you're coaching, that they need it. But I know for you, I never thought about being 50 years old. Right. And so I certainly didn't think that I would go through what I did and be here doing this with you, who's gone through things. But I wish we'd have had these stories about guys that we looked up to, because they were there. We just didn't have access to them. So thanks for sharing it.
Real quick. This school, I'm working here. The players, I tell them, they don't know. They helping me. They don't even know that.
Yeah.
They don't.
Do you ever have a time where the kids are like, Coach played?
Yeah, the mothers and fathers, not the kids I coach. The mothers and fathers know me. So I definitely feel a little older then.
Right.
But they know me. But some of the kids know me now because they started doing their research. But their mothers and fathers my age, 55, 56, stuff like that, 51. And I just got to be a right coach for them. And not just for basketball either. It's not that type of school here. It's about life, about everything. And that's what's helping me a great deal for myself.
When you first came in, or maybe even throughout, who was a guy or two that was just a bad matchup for you?
You played with Kevin Johnson.
KJ, it makes sense.
Kevin Johnson, Tim Hardaway. It just was, for me, they just was tough. They just was tough.
And they were strong through here.
Strong.
Yeah.
Tim with the crossover, and then Kevin Johnson was so quick, and he was strong.
Yeah.
So them two for me, it was Tim Hardaway and Kevin Johnson. They was awesome.
But just defensively, right? Just defensively with those guys. I couldn't guard them. But they couldn't guard you. Yeah.
I go back at them.
Yeah. That's the trick.
Yeah. You got any players today that you like to watch? That you got players today you'd pay to watch?
Oh yeah, I'll pay to watch Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. I'll pay to watch those guys play. And the MVP.
Giannis.
Giannis.
Yeah.
But Joker is awesome from Denver. He's awesome. It's a lot of, the guard play. Stephen Curry is just a great shooter, great ball handler. Oh man, Steph, and then Clay Thompson. Great.
What about Dame?
Dame Dollar. I love
Dame.
I love his game. He can shoot the rock. He's strong, penetrate. Yeah, he's awesome, man. Yeah, you got a lot of the top 15 to 20 players in the league are awesome. That's about 20. And then it gets kind of watered down somewhat.
Hey, have you seen 3D Son?
Oh, yeah. 3D Son is awesome. He's awesome.
He just got, I know if it's out there, so I won't say it, but I know he just got offered by another couple places. And he's like 6'9" now.
Yeah, 6'9".
He's awesome. He's 16, 15, 16.
And he got the wet, too. He's got those
big hands.
The big hands, everything. They shoot the rock. his father, D got him right. D gonna have him right.
Yeah, you know right. That. Have you seen D? D looks great. He lost a bunch of weight. Had a hip. I think he had his hip done. He looks great.
So I'm supposed to be going back down. They're gonna do a feature on us three: Dennis Scott, Brian Oliver, and myself, with Coach Cremins, like in May, beginning of May.
Fantastic.
They're gonna do a feature on Georgia Tech and the Lethal Weapon 3.
Man, that's great. That'll be great. That'll be great for recruiting too.
Oh yes, definitely. But you got to check out my documentary, man. If you haven't.
Oh, I know. I've been reading about it, man. I got to go back and watch it.
You would love it. I will.
I will.
Didn't you go to North Korea for that Dennis Rodman?
I'll talk to you about it. I went with him. It was a shame on me because North Korea at the time what was going on.
You didn't know.
I didn't know. I thought I was going. I didn't know.
I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known.
I was ignorant. He said, "Hey, you're gonna get this. You're gonna get that. Don't work." And when I went over there, my wife, everybody was scared as hell.
I bet.
It was. I didn't know. I was over there with Cliff Robinson.
Yeah, my Cliff.
Vin Baker, Charles Smith, and myself. We were the pros. And
I know you had a good time. I know you had a good time with Cliff over there. Cliff and Vin Baker.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a great time, man.
Yeah, I don't, to say like, why'd you do it? Or I don't care about any of that. I just think the perspective wise, it had to be so perspective, like you change it. Like you go over there and you see people like I read where you walked into the gym and all the fans were there, but really quiet. Like the culturally, it had to be crazy.
The women dressed alike, the men dressed alike.
Wow.
And it was like programmed. They had to cut when the president stood up, they clapped hard, all of them. Then they had to stop. It was different. It was much different.
Yeah. Well,
it sounds terrifying. Is what that sounds.
Yeah, it was. They took our passports when we got off the. I never been through that like that. They took our passports. I'm like, hold up. It was unique, man. It was crazy.
I bet it was.
I'm one of the guys that went over there. So
I'm glad you made it back from there.
Yeah.
I'm glad you made it back.
Yeah, I'm glad too.
But it's interesting because you're one of a very few Westerners that have gone in and come out. So I think it's fascinating.
Because his father was loved the Chicago Bulls. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
His father also shot a round of golf, 18 holes. 18, scored to 18. That's what they said.
Yeah,
he played golf and he got a hole in one in every hole. The great leader got a hole in one in every hole. I mean, that's creepy. That's creepy.
Yeah, they'll say anything, man. You got to agree with it.
Yeah,
that's right.
Right.
Chibbs, what's your favorite movie?
Oh man, my favorite actor is this goes back watching a lot of movies with my mother's Clint Eastwood. Wow, that's my favorite. That's my favorite actor. And
you could have
tried to reach out to him. My mother tried to reach out to him to meet him or whatever, but we didn't get in contact with his people.
Oh man,
Clint Eastwood. It's Clint Eastwood and Denzel Washington. Those are my favorite two actors. That's it. So my favorite movie.
I love Clint too. I love Clint. Love Denzel. Wasn't it fun like going to the Lakers game or you going to play the Lakers and Denzel would be there?
And then one of my favorite shows was Columbo. Peter Falk.
Oh, me too.
So I'm gonna tell you a secret. So when we played the Lakers, he was on the sideline. I went over to him, and then after the game, I called my mother. I said, I met Peter Falk because we used to watch Columbo together. It was awesome.
I watched Columbo with my mom.
Huh?
Man, I watched Columbo with my mom growing up.
Yep,
every episode. I still watch it tonight. I might watch an episode tonight in New York.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, man. I watched it and I called home. Yeah, Peter Falk. But there's a lot of movies that there's a lot of movies. And this is what I'm working on too, with my stroke, my memory. my memory
good.
to go through what I took. So I can talk about something, but
and then might lose it.
When we get off, I'll say, "Oh, that's what I," and I'm only 51. So
I feel you, man.
My memory be banged up.
I get it. Josh, got anything?
Just if you could sit front row center for any band, like dead or alive performer, who we got?
Maroon 5. Maroon 5 is my favorite group. Adam Levine, baby.
Didn't see that coming. Clint
Eastwood and Adam Levine.
Adam Levine, man, that's my guy. We went to was for Father's Day. Father's Day 2 years ago. They took me to Adam Levine Maroon 5 concert in Florida. I had a ball. I love it.
I love it.
That's fantastic.
Maroon 5. I love all
Maroon 5.
I love them.
That's amazing. Kenny, man, I'm so thankful you did this with us today. You got to come back on. Come back on during the season next year. Maybe bring on a player or somebody like that. We'll check in with Fisk Basketball again during the season.
Anything for you, man. All you do is contact me, and I'm on it.
Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure for me. Thank you, guys.
Pleasure. Thank you, man. Thank you.
That was Mr. Chibbs. Josh, thoughts?
Wow. I mean, that was a lot of fun for me. Like I said, that's my grade. That's my era. That smooth lefty. He was the guy in my grade, and I just looked up to him. That was crazy. The craziest thing about it is Maroon 5.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was fantastic.
I mean, and Clint Eastwood.
Wow.
I mean,
that's when we do the year in summary, the 1 year, and we say people's answers. Maroon 5. That'd be great.
We would have never guessed those. We would have never guessed either one.
No, that was
not
great.
1,000 guesses.
Yeah, what a wonderful guy! What a wonderful energy! What things that he's been through that we barely touched on. Some very serious issues. Growing up poor in the city, being famous, nationwide at 14, 15.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny's gone through it. He's had a lot and he's lost a lot. And I would venture to say that, having gone through so much, has prepared him well for what he's doing now, which is, being tough and doing the right thing and trying to, continue to do the right thing. That's the hardest part. Anybody can do the right thing. It's just being consistent at it.
Right. It's interesting the way he talked about it. Said he got to the pros and he kind of let loose a little bit. But I mean, if you think about his life, he's been a pro since he was 15. Mm-hmm. So once he finally made it, he's been living that life, saying no, just keeping the eye on the prize. And he gets there and he gets paid. I mean, it's not like someone who's finally a pro.
I know.
He's been a pro. So, of course,
he's so different.
See him losing some focus, like, ugh.
He's completely opposite of Stephen Curry. Stephen didn't make the McDonald's team. He was, no, real big schools. He goes to Davidson. He's not even really famous until he's a sophomore. By that time, he's 20, 21. And Kenny, Stephen went through, if you remember, Stephen went through, being really undersung, and he was sort of meek on the court. Now look at him. I mean, he's embraced all of it, but that's been a whole thing he's had to go through. To mention,
Steph never thought about, I want to take care of my mom.
Right.
It was a whole
different thing.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, that was episode 39, Josh. Back next week for 40. Same time, same place. All right, buddy. Episode 40 next week on the Rex Chapman Show with super cool Josh Hopkins. Powered by basketballnews.com.